Today, I'm going to be talking about the best respirators out of my collection at least, that I would personally pick for prepping. Now, just to get confusion out of the way, I would not use this one. That's just there for the thumbnail, just to get your attention. You'd be like, so if some viewers who knew more about respirators than most viewers do, they might be like, oh, don't use a cheek filter mask for prepping. And that'd be right, unless it's like nuclear stuff, like it's just plain dust. Cheek filter mask would work for dust. Don't use it for anything else other than dust. And even then, most of these filters that cheek filter masks do use, they're not completely safe to use, so I wouldn't necessarily risk it. However, I think even though there are speculations that the M10M's filters are not safe, I think they are. They don't seem like they're made of asbestos or anything. Same with the Polish MP4 filters. Those seem like they'll be okay for basic, like, dusty environments. Like if you're spraying bees or something, or if I don't know, if it's dusty, right? And you're working with wood, or like you're working with like a woodworker, you're sanding something, that would protect you. However, we're going to be focusing on these three here. Now, here we have the this is a Polish industrial mask. It's the Fresnes Wilson. It's called the Spirian, I believe. The Pano mask, the panoramic mask, right? We got the French CFF3 filter on there today. Next to that, we have the M40A1 with the butyl rubber outer layer on it currently, with the clear polycarbonate outserts with the C2 filter. Now, do not use C2 filters unless you're completely sure that they're completely intact, right? Because also just use them at your own risk, at least. That's all I can tell you. You can use them if you really, really want to, but let me tell you why I won't recommend it. They contain chromium. Now, the chromium on the filters, I don't like. It would be on the activated charcoal, so they're safe and not safe at the same time. I don't really know. I'm not gonna risk it. You can if you'd like to. I don't recommend that. Moving on, we have the ever so popular, famous MCU2 AP right here. I got the C2A1 filter on. Now, I think if there was a chemical attack, I would probably end up going with the Fresnes Wilson, mostly because it's made of a seemingly more chemical resistant rubber than the MCU2 AP. Now, if the MCU2 AP had the second skin and I had other stuff on there too that made it more chemical resistant, maybe I'd pick that one. But because that one, I believe, is a little bit newer, I wouldn't go for this one. However, this mask is still a good mask, alright? It's about the same level of protection as this mask. This mask is a lot more comfortable. And disregarding the fact that this one has a filter that you wouldn't want to use, just keep in mind, if you're new to respirators and stuff, this is your first video of my channel, you can swap out filters, and I'll demonstrate that shortly if you aren't already aware. However, these masks, it takes a while to get the filters swapped out. It's a pain, but I won't go into that in this video. If you want to see somebody that swap filters out, go watch someone else's video. Unless you don't want to watch somebody else, you want to watch me suffer, then comment down below. I'll make a video on how to properly replace filters within a cheek filter respirator. Now, moving on. Right, the reason why I would pick these three out of my collection is because they're not exactly the most modern, right? This mask here was made in 1990. This one was made also in the 90s. I think this one was made in the 90s, and this one was made in 1988. But that's just for the thumbnail, right? However, these masks, right, are the most advanced masks that I own. Reason being, I have a Russian mask in 2005, which I reviewed back before my voice caught up with the rest of me, right? Puberty, you know how that all goes, My voice was absolutely horrible. You can sure everybody can attest to that watching my old videos. If you would like me to make new reviews, like with my current voice and not have that weird, really high-pitched, squeaky, whiny voice, go ahead, comment down below, subscribe, all that. Make sure that you subscribe so that way you don't miss another video, right? I don't post a lot, but if you subscribe, I'll post more often, and there will be more content for you to enjoy and stuff to learn from. My videos are typically educational. I'm trying to get them more entertaining so more people will enjoy them and watch them more. However, most of it's more educational. Now, back to what I was saying. The reason why I picked these, because they're more advanced. They have proper oral nasal cups. They have a 40 millimeter NATO or Stanag filter ports. All right. They have voice diaphragms. They have drinking tubes, all except for that one right there. That one doesn't have a drinking tube, but you don't really need a drinking tube exactly. They're a convenience moreover than an actual need. Personally, I don't really care for them. They're okay. If it's the only, all right, I'd say personally, out of all the respirators I have, my favorite one with the drinking tube would be this one because it's out of the way, and I'll demonstrate that in a moment. Whereas these, they just sit in place and they'll get in the way. They'll bother your face. Not terribly. This one right here is not my size, so this one's why it's a problem for me. This one, not too much of a problem. It just sits right on my lip. But apart from that, right, the reason why that one right there, the Vernez, would be the best option, few reasons. It's made of a more chemical resistant rubber. Okay, so if it's a blister agent, it won't go through your mask, right? It won't eat away the mask, right? It can take most any filters. It can take, I think it's got a standardized filter port, so it can take NATO and GOST filters. It's got a voice diaphragm, right? So voice diaphragm filters, good rubber, right? So good rubber, voice diaphragm filters, and it's got a panoramic lens, meaning that you have a much better field of view than any other respirator I have. So for maybe this respirator here, this one's a little smaller, a little lighter weight, so it varies. But this one also has, over time, the MC2APs and the MC2P, that line of respirators in and of themselves, they all have problems where the flexible actual lens yellows over time, as you can see there. However, this polycarbonate, I believe, big panoramic lens here, I'll grab it for you guys so you guys can see. This panoramic lens offers a really good field of view. Now mine, I took the little metal thing off because I was trying to see if I could swap the filters to each side, but you can't. Don't try it. If you get these are around $100 now. I got mine for like $60 back in like 2021, I think, or 2022. They'll have a little metal band here. So like I said, takes most any filter. This is a French C50 filter. This is probably my favorite go-to filter. Now, not for prepping though. This is an old expired filter. If you're gonna prep for anything, make sure you get new CBRN filters that are within their date, like within that are in date, that aren't expired. And also make sure, if you can't find a military CBRN filter, find a civilian ABEC filter. Now you want an ABEC filter because that will filter out legitimately everything. You want the ABEC filter with the most amount of numbers next to the letters ABEC, right? ABEC, right? So look for a filter that says ABEC on the side, that has like 2s, 3s, and 4s and whatnot on the side, right? Yeah, so this is just a standard French CFF3 filter, right? Pretty basic. These are very common on the surplus market. They're relatively cheap. They're lightweight. They're good for they're just good overall basic standard filters. If you just want to have a filter on your mask that isn't your go-to filter for a prepping situation, right? These filters will fit on pretty much any mask ever. Like these fit on my my Warsaw Pact respirators. These fit on my United States military respirators, and they fit on this one. So there you go. Now, the nice thing about this mask is it also has an oral nasal cup, right? So, which I just noticed I didn't just notice, but I just thought of because it's right there. You can see it through the lens, which is right here, right? Now, the lighting isn't too great. You can't really see too much of it, but if I do that, you can see the valves there, right? So it's got two valves there. And then it's got a nice chin cup. It's got a really good peripheral seal too. As you notice, this peripheral seal, it's really good. And there's no ghosting at all because it's with the field of view because it's panoramic, and the only thing that will block your vision is about down here. So, if I can figure out how to edit videos, actually no, I think I'll just make a few YouTube shorts of going through all this stuff and link this video in those shorts. But like wearing the mask and telling you about the field of view and all that. You'll notice how clear and clean this lens is, right? This big polycarbonate is, and it's pretty durable too. You could use this for airsoft. It's thick enough for airsoft. However, I'm a collector. I'm not going to use this one particularly for airsoft because these are hard to find nowadays. They're kind of expensive. They're like $100, right? However, the cheapest mask on this list would probably be that one, followed by this, followed by the M40, then that one. Now, I got lucky with all my stuff, and I got a good deal on that, and a good deal on that, and a good deal on that, and a good deal on this, because I bought these all before, like, the price skyrockets, you know? So, there you go. This one was made in 1998. So, it's got a voice diaphragm under here, which, I mean, maybe I can get this cover off. I don't think I can, though. Yeah, I'm not gonna attempt that. Yeah, it's got the exhale valve under here. On this side, it's got a small little voice diaphragm here. Now, it's not the best voice diaphragm in the world compared to, let's say, like the old Soviet voice diaphragms, because those things were just big circles on the front of the mask. I mean, the M40 has a good voice diaphragm, but like it's a lot more robust than we do. So these are more durable, right? That this mask here and this mask here and maybe this one here are the most durable. This one is durable, but it's not as durable as the other ones because it's got more parts. Not more parts, just more complex parts. Like it's complicated. I'll explain it. If you want to know more, I'll talk to you about it in the comments, or just ask me. I'll make another video talking about, like, I already made a review on this, but I can talk about the pros and cons of the MC2AP and the pros and cons of the M40. Actually, I just had a great idea. I'll make a pros and cons playlist. I'll make a few pros and cons videos about the masks I own. Anyway, moving on. Why this is good for prepping, right? Let's say that you don't want to carry a bag all the time and you don't want to take this out of a bag. You're on a neck strap. You can carry this on your neck. If you need to wear it, it's quick on. It's got a 5-point adjustable head harness, and these actually adjust pretty quickly with, I think, friction, I guess. Yeah, I'm guessing it's kind of a friction-based system. And unlike some of these other, like, pano masks, like the Chinese Pewter mask, this mask, the buckles don't snap off when you try to tighten them, and they stay pretty secure. However, the top strap is not adjustable with this mask. That's one thing to point out. So there's this mask. It'd be good for legitimately anything as long as you have other protection to protect your head from blister agents and the rest of your body, right? This mask will get you through anything. Literally anything. As long as you have the proper filters and the proper attire, this mask is a good mask. It's great for prepping, right? Moving on to the M40 A1. Here we have the M40 A1. Now, with the M40 A1, we have an issue. Now you might be like thinking, oh, Ward, what might that issue be? Well, you'll notice this is not the mask. This is the second mask for the mask. Because when these were designed, now I do like this mask, don't get me wrong, this is one of my favorite masks. However, something that's kind of crap about this, right? Alright, I'll take the filter off just so it's easier to carry around with one hand. So, look, this is made of silicone rubber. All this, it's all silicone rubber, right? This one's too big for me, so the air deflector digs into my cheekbone, and the drinking tube pokes its way up my nose. Anyway, the flaw with this mask is it's made of green silicone rubber, which will, if there's a blister agent, it will eat away at this rubber, right? That's why they had to implement this outer skin, the outer hood. This is why they call it the A1, right? The M40 was just issued without this. The A2 has this, but it's a little bit bigger. It's more protective. All right. Now, apart from that, it's a good mask. Would I recommend it for prepping? Yes and no. As long as you have all the proper extra parts and equipment that the military would use with this respirator, sure, go for it. However, because I don't have all the NBC gear that this was issued with, I would not use this for prepping. Although it is a great mask, it looks cool, right? Just because it looks cool does not mean it's going to protect you from every single thing imaginable. It's a good mask. I would recommend it, but not for blister agents or anything like that, right? If it's like, if it's in your size and and it's nuclear war and somehow you manage to not get vaporized or killed by all the radiation, this mask would do fine. Okay, it's rubber. It's gonna keep you safe. It's as long as you got a proper filter on there. It's got a drinking tube system, all that, and it's got dual voice diaphragms that, and the filter and this side voice diaphragm are interchangeable. So let's say you want to run this with a rifle, you can, because you can swap the filter. So let's say I'm right-handed, so it filters on my left side, right? Allows me to put my rifle here if I have one. I have airsoft rifles, but I don't talk about those on my channel because I don't want to get a channel strike. All right. Now, another thing, if you wanted to swap it out, you would just unscrew this with the part that's on the bag, and then once you have that unscrewed, you pop the voice diaphragm out this way. Don't push it inward, push it this way, right, from the inside. Okay. Then after you do that, you can take this, put it over here, and then like swap this piece here and put it on this side. Same thing with the MCU2AP, right? Works the same. Now, MCU2AP, like I said before, same problem as the M40, right? Exactly the same, right? Almost the same things I would say about the actually, yeah, everything I'd say about the M40, I would say about the MCU2AP. Okay. Apart from the fact the the M40 is more durable. Okay. Now, moving on. Here's an example of a mask you do not want to use for prepping. Okay. When peanut butter hits the fan scenario, you do not want this mask to save your life. It's an old Warsaw Pact cheek filter respirator. It has no peripheral seal, so it's gonna not, if your face doesn't fit the shape of the mask, it's not gonna see, it might not seal well or properly or at all, right? It's not gonna make a very good seal, right? On the inside here, we can see it. Don't get me wrong, the M10M is a comfortable respirator, right? As long as you have it in your size. All right, it's got a very good drinking tube system, comfortable oil nasal cup. See, as you can see, that I'll talk about. If you push this forward, it pushes the drinking tube forward, like that. Push it in. So that's a good design on the checks part. It's got a really good voice diaphragm. It's got a dual exhale valve assembly. So there's an exhale valve here, then there's another one in the inside. This is the covers for the inside, but on the inside here are the filters. So as you can see, after undoing these pins, you can see the filter there on the inside. If I can get there we go. There's the filter, right? You have to go through all of that, right, to change your filter, right? We're talking about prepping here, right? If you're in a scenario where there's no other, you can't go out and buy new filters on the internet, all this and that, right? If you're in a scenario where you're going to have to change your filter on occasion, you don't want this because you have to take the mask off to change the filter. Whereas these, you hold your breath and you change the filter. You can't do that with this. Because if you take the mask off in a contaminated environment, you're going to die. Okay? It's not helpful. Unless it's just plain dust, then you'll be fine. But don't use cheek filter masks for prepping, okay? Do not. No matter what anybody else says, right? use some logic here. Don't be like, oh, but I have in-date filters. No, don't risk it. Don't risk it, because they don't make new filters for these masks. They make new filters for these, but don't risk it with an M10M. Okay? I'm not saying the M10M is a bad mask. No, it's a good mask. It's probably one of the best cheek filter masks you can buy, because it's made of a good rubber. It's comfortable. It's Czechoslovakian. It's good design. It's high quality, right? But make sure you don't get scammed when you're buying them. I got mine new old stock, so mine was sealed up in a bag in an old warehouse from the Cold War, right? So make sure you don't get scammed buying these. But they're good. If you're a collector, this is a great mask. A great, like, third or fourth mask to add to your collection if you're on a budget, right? This is around, like, $40. You can get these for maybe cheaper, more expensive. I got mine for around $40. Great deal, right? Comes with a bag, comes with extra filters. Not new filters, mind you, just particulate filters. Comes with new filters. And it's a good quality mask, right? But don't use it for prepping. Not at all. I would never use this in a million years for prepping. Now, you might be wondering, oh, why didn't you use what about the PMK3? The PMK3 is a load of hot garbage. Okay, the PMK3 is a cheap piece of Russian equipment that barely works. I mean, it works, but barely. You can't change the filters unless you have that the adapter that sticks out the side that weighs down the side of the mask. And the strap system, if you get one stock, I swapped the straps out a while ago for the straps on that mask right there on the N10M. Excuse me, on the N10M, right? Because the straps had broken. They're poor quality straps. It's all rubber. It's all cheap Russian equipment. It's horrible. Okay, it's a cool looking mask. It's comfortable, but it's not a good military or respirator or anything. It's good for collecting. It's really cool because it's a Russian almost current issue Russian mask, but don't use it. Not at all. Don't use it. No. Not good at all. However, these three on the side, out of my collection, from personal experience, personal use, these would be the best options. Starting from here, going to there. Right? These three. However, if I was to recommend the absolute best mask for prepping, right? Now, if you stuck around to the end, you get the final grand finale reveal. Now, most people don't stick around, I've noticed from my YouTube analytics, but if you stuck around to the end, you will know when top 3 best prepping masks aren't these, but are the Avon CT12, Avon FM12, and the Avon, was it the C50? Yeah, this Avon C50, Avon FM12, Avon CT12, and maybe the Avon M50, but M50 has more proprietary filters, so you're better off getting the C50 or the PC50, because those are the best masks ever on the market, right? Anything Avon made after the year 1990, great mask. Great mask. Get it. If you can afford it, get it. I can't afford it, they're pretty expensive. But if you can get that with good filters and a good mop suit for if you're really into prepping, get those. Those will save your life. And if you're on a little bit of a budget, the best budget, no, might buy one soon. We'll see. Might do a review, might buy a pair of Nike Jungle Boots, might review those soon too. But the best budget, right? If you stuck around long enough to hear about the best budget mask, all right, the best budget mask is the Israeli 4A1. It's been talked about a lot. The Israeli 4A1 is the best budget mask for prepping. It was designed for that purpose in mind. It can take any kind of filter. It's one size fits all for adult sizing, and I think they also make a children's size too. I don't know exactly. I don't know enough about that one, but I can tell you from experience, it's not a terribly uncomfortable mask. It looks cool too. It's got that classic gas mask look to it. Takes literally any filter. Has a drinking tube. Has a voice diaphragm. Has 2 lenses. It's the best basic mask for prepping, right? Apart from that, hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys learned something new. And if not, that's cool too. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Helps me out a lot. I'm not just asking for likes or anything. I would like my videos to be seen by more people. So if you like this video, then it will be recommended to other people right? That watch the similar stuff you do, like YouTube algorithm, right? So make sure you like and subscribe. Comment down below if you want to know more. If you have any questions, make sure you comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.